Okay, I'm going to give you another lesson, and I'll start out by letting you tune to me. E, A, D, G, B, and E again. Now, there are a couple of ways of getting to tuning. One, I own a couple of tuning forks. You can get these at a music store. This is a tuning fork that is tuned to the note E. I have one in my acoustic guitar case that's tuned to A, and you can take these and you beat them on a knee, and let's see if I can get some sound going that this can pick up. I'm placing it on the music stand. I have my phone attached to a music stand. Where I normally use it on an acoustic guitar, you have your spruce top, light colored usually, and then you have a darker hardwood here, probably mahogany, with all your tuning pegs that go in. And this is a good spot. I don't want to damage the finish on my guitar, and it's also spruce is a fairly soft wood, and you don't want the tuning fork to damage your instrument, so I will put it here. But on an electric guitar you don't get any sound at all out of that. Let me see if you can get a, yeah, you can actually hear a tuning fork through your skull. Well, you can hold it up to an ear too. Anyway, tuning fork is one way. What else? Oh, this is a cool method. Let's turn this so you can see it. Let's turn it on. Let's just zoom in. This is a digital device. It picks up, it's clipped to the headstock of the guitar, and it has a microphone built in that can read the vibrations of the instrument. This is really good for tuning a guitar in a high noise environment, because it doesn't matter if there's, like right now the dog is barking, and because this is set up to work off the vibrations of the instrument, it doesn't care that the dog is barking. Let me have a look at this. It's a little low. Let's bring it up. So that's E, A, D, G, B, E. And you notice that it is it's automatically detecting the note that I'm playing, and that would be even if I play something like a B flat. It knows that there's a B flat and it says it's out of tune. Let's see how the A is. The A is dead on. Well, not entirely. Let's have a look at it from this way. Oh well. Anyway, I just leave this permanently attached to the top of the guitar so that I can see it. And I'll turn that off so I don't run my battery down. Let's pause for a second. No, let's just press ahead. We went through playing the Thetis Island Blues in G. Now, one thing, I should talk about strings. This relates to tuning. As I said, your strings can get corroded and it throws your tuning off. Now, I have bought some Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes string cleaners. Got those at the guitar store. And from Amazon, I got an interesting little string cleaner. Let's just show you what this does. It opens up like this, and you can wrap this around your strings. Now what I do is I use, and these are disposable, you use them, I don't know, a couple of dozen times, then you throw them away. However, I have used these in combination with the string cleaner wipes. So I'm going to, I have the string cleaner pad here, and I'm going to wrap this around my strings. And then I'm going to take this here and wrap it also around my strings, but over the top of this string cleaner thing. So then I just take this and I run it up my strings. I will have to retune my instrument after this, because particularly when I move this up to the nut, I'm stretching the strings a little bit. So or at least if they want to stretch at all, they have all the opportunity in the world. Now let's see if I got any crud off my strings. Not much. I got a little bit of crud. You can just barely see the lines, but my strings are pretty clean, which means that they'll keep a good tune. If your strings are dirty, of course, you'll go out of tune and there won't be much you can do to fix it. So I don't use alcohol or any other solvent on the strings, because some alcohols will leave a solvent, or leave a residue behind, and I just don't want that to happen. So I don't know what Ernie Ball puts in these. They don't advertise that because they don't want anybody else finding that they can go with something really cheap that does the same work. Sheepers, for all I know, it could just be distilled water. But I buy the Ernie Ball things anyway. Now, let's see. Now, let's say that doing the Thetis Island Blues in G is a little bit high for you. The ocean is deep, be-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. As you get older, your voice tends to go lower. At least you lose, whether it goes lower or you just lose the top notes, I don't know. I cannot sing as high now as I did 20 years ago. So you may decide that you want to move this down. Now, here is just wrote this out on an envelope. And so the chords that I use are G, C7, and D7. So these are the chords I'm using. G, C7, and D7. Now, if you want to move this to a lower pitch, the key that's nicest for a guitar below G, that's easiest to play, is E. So I'm going to try moving this down. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to move the G down 1, 2, 3 steps, and I'm going to start playing E. Every place I used to play a G, I'm now going to play an E. So if I move down the G 3 steps, I'll move the C down 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to play A7, where I used to play C7. And I'm going to move the D down 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to end up playing a B7. This is called transposing. So if you can keep track of what used to work, you learn a song in one key, and then you'd say, I need to make it lower or higher. You count how many frets, how many halftones you move, and move all of your chords by an equivalent amount. So G becomes E, C7 becomes A or A7, and D7 becomes B7. So I'm going to do that. So I've just moved it down. Oh, the other thing you can do is you can switch chords in the middle of a song. And the way you do that is you wait till you get to the end of the verse. So you go to the last chord. If you're counting up, your chords are 1, 4, and 5. G, C is 4 whole tones above G, and D7 is 5 whole tones above G, the original note. So in the new key, the number 5 chord is B7. So I'm going to play the ocean is deep and the ocean is wide. The gal I love is on the other side. I'm going to move to Thetis Island. I'm going to move to Thetis Island. You can be playing with me here. I'm going to move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. Well, I might take a train, I might take a plane, but if I gotta walk, I'm gonna get there just the same. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know. Now, when you transpose on the guitar, there are some things that you can uniquely do in a given key. Like in the key of G, going from G to C, just by moving these two fingers, moving this finger 1 fret from the 5th to the 4th string, and then dropping this finger in on the 2nd string, gives you a C chord with a G in the bass, and then we'll go back to the G. That is a very nice effect and gives you a it's an attractive musical thing you're doing. Now, it's not as nice. You can still go in the new key, you can still go from G to A, but that nice fingering thing that we were doing all along, keeping the G in the bass, doesn't work with the E. I guess it does. Well, I might take a train, I might take a plane. So yeah, I guess it works. If you like the sound it just doesn't ring true to me. But in E, there is something you can do, which is so I'm playing an E. I'm actually playing an E7 because I just don't have room to stretch all the fingers, and then I have my middle finger on the 2nd fret, and then I stretch up to the 4th fret on the 5th string. That sounds nice with a blues song. Well, if I was a catfish swimming in the sea, and it's rest of the strings all fit with the chord, I don't have to limit myself to just those 2 strings, but I can. Well, if I was a catfish swimming in the sea, you know all of them girl catfishes would come swimming after me. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. So you can do the same thing with the A. I have an A7 that I fingered here, 2 fingers down. And I can take my pinky finger and again get the nice blues sound. Blues, I don't have a name for this. Moving bass, a walking bass, I guess. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. Oh, now, that goes too low for me. So, I have to compromise. Baby, where they don't know you. So I don't follow the walking bass. I'll keep my voice on the same note so I don't go below my range. Move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. And, oh yeah, that you can strum the whole thing. I was just doing 2 notes, plucking, but you can also strum. I love my John Deere tractor and I love my combine. I'd love my girlfriend, but I just can't find the time. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. Well, I might take a train, I might take a plane. If I gotta walk, I'm gonna get there just the same. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. So you can see I'm exercising some freedom there. Now, what else was I going to say in this? So I'm talking a little bit, if you decide that G is a little low for you, which I find hard to believe because it's high for me, but you could move it up using this. If your G moves up 2 tones, G to A flat up to A, that's a convenient key to play in. Everything that used to be G becomes an A. Everything that used to be D becomes an E. And everything that used to be C becomes a D. It's a little confusing, but it'll straighten itself out as you play. Well, the ocean is deep and the ocean is wide. The gal I love is on the other side. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna have to move my voice down soon. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. Now, if you're playing with a keyboard player, unless they're pretty good, they aren't great at changing keys. They tend to learn things in one key, and that's the way they play it. So if you're playing with a keyboard player and they know how to play this or some other song in a given key, then you just follow along with them. But if you're playing with other guitarists, we all, guitar players, and particularly if you're just doing bar chords, it's really easy to change keys. Well, the ocean is deep and the ocean is wide. The gal I love is on the other side. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. And I'm gonna move it up just half a tone. So I've just moved everything up 1 fret. Dee 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 Now I'm going to move it up again. Whoa, and I'd say to myself, that's too high. So I'm going to move it down because I was just singing too high. So guitar players, if you learn to play bar chords, key changes become really easy. And there is no one official way to play a song. One of the things, if you play worship songs and you learn them from YouTube, some of these bands like Hillsong and others that generate so much of our worship music these days basically have professional singers, and a lot of them are able to sing at a higher pitch than normal humans. So if you always learn your songs from professional worship bands on YouTube, likely you're going to find the pitch is set really high. You can tell when you're singing with a group and you're too high or too low because the volume goes down. So when I was playing, move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. So I would move a song up or down a fret, and I might go both ways just to hear when the volume goes up. I found that when I was, we used to sing right after breakfast, and we would sing in the evenings as well. And I discovered that all of the songs that were familiar, that people knew, I would sing them 1 half tone higher, that's 1 fret up for breakfast, and then move it down a half tone, move it down 1 fret in the evenings. If it turns out the whole camp gets sick, they all develop a terrible cough, or if they have a big soccer game in the afternoon and everybody's screaming, that tends to ruin your voice, and everybody will sing rather lower than is normal for them. And if I'm playing up in a bar chord, this walking bass that I do, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, is pretty hard, so I don't normally do that if I'm playing in some bar chord only key. Let's see, key changes. I've been using my index finger. It's also possible to use what's called a capo, and there are several different styles of these, and you can invest in 1 or 2 and see which one works with your guitar the best. I usually put it up very close to the fret that I want to, where I would normally, I've got this capo on the 3rd string, and now I can play in E. My fingers think it's an E, but in reality, I'm playing in the key of G, because it's E, F, F sharp, G. So on the 3rd fret up, fingering it as though it were an E. The ocean is deep and the ocean is wide. The gal I love is on the other side. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis E, A, B7. So I have to think of it. I mean, it's really G because I've got the capo on here, but I have to mentally think E. I lost track of where I was. Move to Thetis Island, move to Thetis Island, gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. Now, when you take a capo on or off, particularly putting it on, you want to be kind of careful. If you slide it at all as you start to as you bring the clamp down, I use a clamping style of capo, as you see, it will pull the string out of tune because you're pulling on the string and then freezing it in place. Oh, that's another thing about tuning. If your string is off, and if your string is off, if it's too high, take the string well low and bring it up. Never tune your string down to the pitch that you want. Even if it's high, don't just tune it down, tune it way low and then bring it up. And the reason is that the string can stick in the nut here. When you're tuning down, it may not go down all the way. It may stick slightly. And so you tune it until it fits, and then you play a little bit, and suddenly the string jumps to its natural length. Now, years ago, I did try putting pencil lead graphite inside the little channels in my nut here. But I don't do that anymore. I just tune up from the bottom. You know how to tune, presumably using the 5th string. There's the 6th string, 5th fret rather. Those should be the same. And then you go on the 3rd string, you go to the 4th fret. And if they're out, let's go ahead and take one out. Well, that sounds awful. So you... Now, can you hear that beat sound? If you hear that, it means you're not on the same pitch. It has to do with the frequency waves in the atmosphere, and they overlap, and so at times they combine and other times they cancel each other out, and we hear it as a wobbling sound. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to check it with my electronic tuner. Well, that's terrible. Okay, now I'm good. You shouldn't need an electronic tuner is nice. You can get them starting at about $8 or $9 on Amazon.ca, and that's as of this week. I paid more for this one because it was billed as being exceptionally accurate. But since I got hearing aids, it's gotten really hard for me to tune the guitar. Hearing aids love the sound of human voices, and they think guitars are not a sound I'm interested in listening to. So they tend to not amplify the guitar properly the way it would another human speaking to me. So one way or another, it has made it more difficult for me to keep my guitar in tune. Let's see. Another thing that you should know is we're doing the Thetis Island Blues. There are a couple of different patterns for blues tunes. And a lot of blues tunes use one of those two patterns. And Thetis Island Blues is what's called a 12-bar blues. If you count out 4 beats per bar. The ocean is deep and the ocean is wide. The gal I love is on the other side. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island. 6, 2, 3. Move to Thetis Island. I'm gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you to. And here comes 12, 2. And then you start over. I might take a train. Now, that's 12-bar blues, and oh, here's another 12-bar blues song. I hate to see that evening sun go down. I hate to see that evening sun go down. 'Cause my baby, she done left this town. Let's move it down. Let's see. She done left this town, feeling tomorrow like I feel today. I said feeling tomorrow like I feel today. I'll pack my trunk, make my getaway. So if you can do one blues tune, you're on the way to doing a bunch of others, because the guitar work is pretty similar. There is also what's known as the 16-bar blues. I believe that Careless Love is a 16-bar blues. We'll count it out. I'll give you the basic tune here. Well, it's love, oh love, oh careless love. This is a blues tune sung by a woman. She's talking about how mean men can be, the one that she was in love with. Well, it's love, oh love, oh careless love. Well, it's love, oh love, oh careless love. You see what careless love has done. So I'm playing D, A7, do 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 do, D, D D D, D D D D D. I'm playing an E7, la to the A7, la da da, D, D7, G, back to D, and A7, D, D, D. And now I'll count it out for you. I love my mama and my papa too. 4, 2, 3. Well, I love my mama and my papa too. Well, I love my mama and my papa too. 12 tooth. But you know I'd leave them both to go and follow you. 15, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, da da da. So that's the other pattern of blues song. I'll go ahead and give you the words to this because it's kind of fun. Let's move it. Sure, we'll play it in D. It's a good key. So she sings. There are a couple of euphemisms in this. When I wore my apron low, I think that just means lots of cleavage. She then sings about wearing her apron high, which is a euphemism for she's gotten pregnant and she has to pull her apron up over the top of her stomach. So, when I wore my apron low, when I wore my apron low, yeah, when I wore my apron low, you'd follow me through rain and snow. And I'm going to move it down a little bit, down to E. But now I wear my apron high. I guess I moved it up from D to E. I didn't move it down. Now that I wear my apron high, oh, but now that I wear my apron high, you see my door and you pass right by. So it's love, oh love, oh careless love. Well, it's love. That's a nice little blues thing. You can do that in the key of E. It's a very nice little blues lick that fits in E. Let's lift your index finger, put it back down, and then go to the second string, and your little finger goes up to the second fret, and then up to the high E. So it's love, oh love, oh careless love. Well, it's love, oh love, oh careless love. Can't play this without a bar chord. Yeah, gotta have a bar chord for this. If you're playing it in E, well, it's love, oh love, oh careless love. You see what careless love has done. Well, this has been not just about Thetis Island Blues, but a bit more about the care and feeding of your strings. I was doing a little bit of reading today on the web and find that it's pretty standard among concert professional musicians that they change their strings for every performance. I never, changing your strings after just 3 hours of play, I have never done. But if you like the sound, the bright resonant sound of brand new strings, and you've got lots of money, it's a fine thing to do. The other thing they often do is they'll have a guitar technician that works with the band that shows up several hours early and puts fresh strings on all the guitars. Probably also has backup instruments, so if you break a string, your instrument tech comes out on stage while you're in the middle of playing and takes off the neck strap and removes the guitar and swaps in another guitar in the middle of a verse. You can see this on YouTube in some videos. It's really quite something. Now there was a guy, a violinist named Paganini, who was, he wrote stuff that people still play today. Paganini's famous for his, what are they called, caprices? perhaps so. But when he was writing these, he was almost the only violinist in the world that was competent enough to play his own pieces. And he would play, and he would take a knife and cut little grooves in his strings, and had worked out so that while he was playing, a string would break, but he knew that it was going to break, and he would just keep playing. Nobody in the audience knew this was going to happen, but they could see that a string broke, so instead of playing on 4 strings on his violin, he would carry on playing with 3 strings, and then third string broke, he would carry on playing with just two strings, and finally the last one would break, and he would be doing brilliant stuff with just 1 string, and he would get to the end and the audience would go simply nuts. I don't believe any guitar players do that kind of thing today. Most guitar players like to be playing with all 6 strings. Let's see, capos, tuning forks. Oh, I could give you a little something on minor key blues. So if you've got your E here, and if you lift your index finger, you have an E minor chord. And so if a regular song plays in E, A, B7, E, the minor will be E minor, A minor, the same B7, and back to E minor. Let's see, it was down in old Joe's bar room on the corner by the square. Oh, the drinks were served as usual, and the usual gang was there. On my left stood Big Joe McKinney. His eyes were bloodshot red. Oh, he turned to the crowd around him. These were the very words he said. I went down to the St. James Infirmary to see my baby there. Yeah, she was stretched out on a light white slab of marble, so pale, so cold, so fair. Now if I wanted to change keys, let her go, God bless her, wherever her soul may be. She can search this whole world over, never find a man as good as me. When I die, please bury me. So I'm changing keys. You have to keep your wits about you, because sometimes I forget what key I'm in, because you're often focused on the words, you're focused on what you're doing with your voice, and you're letting your left hand function on remote autopilot and muscle memory. And if your muscles forget what key you're in, you end up playing the wrong chord. But I think that's... okay. I think that's about it for today. James? Oh, I did think of another thing that you could do. Can't do this with a large group, but if you're playing with 2 or 3 guitar players, particularly if you're teaching them, bringing them up to speed on songs, you could do some word games, some rhyming games. So let's do that to the Thetis Island Blues tune. Let's see, James. I need to find a rhyme for James. Same. B, C, D, G. I know a guy, his name is James. He has so many girlfriends that he just can't remember all their names. He's gonna move to Thetis Island. He's gonna move to Thetis Island. He's gonna move to Thetis Island, baby, where they don't know you. Let's see, we can do Bob. I have a friend, his name is Bob. His girlfriend left me, he told me with a sob. He's gonna move to Thetis Island. So you could do that with the first names of everybody in your group. Somebody just has to, you play slow while you're thinking of good rhymes. But that would, one of the things that'll do is if you're playing with a bunch of other guitarists, some of them who are novices, getting them thinking about the lyrics will force their fingers to start developing the muscle memory and playing the G, C, D7 without thinking about it. So that can be a good exercise. Let's see, capos, tuning forks, cleaning the strings. That's about it. Have a great day.